The Garden of Eden has finally been found. Join us on an expedition to uncover the captivating tale and supporting proof behind a significant discovery. This video aims to reveal the truth about the Garden of Eden and leave you astounded. The existence of the Garden of Eden has the potential to spark a heated discussion, particularly among those who hold religious beliefs. However, it is not limited to just those who believe in the Christian God, as some may still acknowledge its presence based on the geographic location that validates the Bible's accounts. This topic has the ability to generate compelling arguments and engage people in thought-provoking conversations. Scientists have been diligently scouring ancient texts in search of any clues that could aid in locating the Garden of Eden. Recent advances in remote sensing archaeology and DNA studies have yielded promising leads towards its whereabouts. Interestingly, what they uncovered in their quest is quite alarming. The Nursery of Eden is a famous heaven that is nitty-gritty in the scriptural book of beginning. It is said to have been home to the main people, Adam and Eve, before they were banished for disregarding God's regulations. It is additionally known by different names, like the Nursery of God and the Nursery of Yahweh, contingent upon the particular scriptural reference. The etymology of the name Eden is said to be rooted in the Sumerian word Eden, which translates to blame, while the Akkadian word Adino, borrowed from Sumerian, also carries the same meaning. According to the creation and fall of humanity story in Genesis, Eden was the source of 4 rivers that flowed to the east of Israel and extended to the far reaches of the world. Additionally, other settlements referenced in the Sumerian archives appear to support the concept of a paradise-like realm in ancient Middle Eastern mythology. Numerous claims have been made by different regions regarding their possible identification as the original home of mankind. Among the most recognized claims are those from the Persian Gulf's Iraq, Bahrain, Iran, Anatolia, Armenia, Turkey, Jerusalem, East Africa, and even Scotland's Isle of Lewis and Missouri's Jackson County. In any case, very little tenable proof has been found to approve any of these statements, which has prompted continuous speculation about whether the genuine location of the Nursery of Eden will at any point be absolutely settled. There are credible theories about the location of the Garden of Eden based on the hints provided in the biblical text. These hints include references to identifiable rivers mentioned in the text. It is possible that the solution to the age-old question of the garden's location has been available all along. The Book of Beginning in the Holy Book shows that the Nursery of Eden is arranged in southern Mesopotamia, which is modern-day Iraq. The nursery's precise location is believed to be around 35 miles north of Mosul, Iraq, and is approximately an hour's drive away from regions under Islamic State control. The biblical text mentions 2 rivers, which suggests that the head of the Persian Gulf could be a plausible location. One of the rivers is Vertigris, which translates to the ideal of Eden, and the other is the Great Euphrates River, which means the path of Eden. According to the Story of God series hosted by Morgan Freeman, archaeologists were surprised by the discovery when they excavated an area situated between the Tigris and the Euphrates rivers dating back 11,000 years. It's guessed that this district has seen the ascent and fall of various developments, including Sumerian, Assyrian, Chaldean, Persian, and Middle Easterner over a time of in excess of 12,000 years. Some anecdotal evidence also suggests that organized farming, early cities, and writing may have originated from this area. In contrast to its portrayal as a predominantly peaceful region in historical texts, the current condition of the land once known as the Garden of Eden stands in complete opposition. Today, Iraq is famous for partisan savagery, self-destruction bombings, kidnappings, and the uprooting of exiles, the overwhelming result of quite possibly the most hostile and genuinely charged battle in ongoing history. The Mesopotamia area, including the Tigris and Euphrates streams referenced in the scriptural text, experienced huge harm ascribed to the activities of Saddam Hussein, Iraq's previous despot. In the 1990s, Saddam diverted the area's water as a means to punish the locals for supporting an uprising against his regime. This resulted in the draining of the region, including thousands of square kilometers of marshland that relied on the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. The UN designated this event as a cultural and ecological catastrophe, comparable to the disappearance of the Coral Sea or the devastation of the Amazon rainforest. The extent of Saddam's soldiers' engineering prowess left even seasoned engineers astounded. They achieved an incredible feat by removing 6,000 square kilometers of wetlands, creating new rivers, diverting the Euphrates away from the marsh, and intercepting the Tigris. Furthermore, his regime set fire to the region's reed beds, while claiming that it was an attempt to increase agricultural land availability. In reality, reality, Saddam's true motive was to prevent his opponents from establishing a base of operations. According to historians, Saddam persisted with his agenda in the Marsh region, despite the evident environmental damage caused, because the project was politically motivated and driven by spite. By the 1990s, this region had emerged as a center for the Iraqi opposition and was primarily inhabited by rebels. Although Saddam's removal from power prevented the complete destruction of the area, he undoubtedly inflicted significant harm on the region, which is believed to have once housed the Garden of Eden. Before Saddam's ousting, the Marsh region was home to approximately 80,000 Madar, or Marsh Arabs, who resided in towns and on floating islands. However, in 1991, around 450,000 individuals who relied on the marshes were displaced, causing 30,000 refugees to flee to the US, 70,000 to Iran, and the remaining individuals to be relocated. By 2003, the population of the largest city had dwindled from 67,000 to a mere 6,000. In 2016, the marshlands of southern Iraq were recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site due to their extensive history and diverse features. Beyond their connection to an ancient garden, these marshes are a part of the wild east of Iraq, a remote and lawless region where rebellious populations have a tradition of resisting authority. To restore the marshes, the United Nations launched an $11 million initiative, which included the removal of obstacles that blocked water from entering the area. This effort aimed to counteract the effects of dams constructed by Turkey and Syria, which had diverted water from the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Although the flow of water has been partially restored, it still falls short of its previous levels. In recent years, the marshes have changed from extensive wetland areas supported by the United Nations to extensive stretches of dry land. The area that is purported to be the location of the garden has been racked by catastrophic droughts, which have wreaked havoc throughout a considerable portion of Iraq and the nations that border it. A significant amount of damage has been inflicted upon southern Iraq, which is home to the Marsh Arabs. Formerly verdant wetland areas such as the Hazaiwa marshes now display dry stream banks and flora that are beginning to turn yellow. The formerly expansive Lake Nas is now little more than a few dirty pools in an otherwise arid area. Even the popular tourist destination of the Gibaj wetlands is falling victim to the same problem. According to the testimony of a local resident who lives close to Hawiza, the marshes have historically been a main source of their livelihood in the form of fishing due to the fact that they have been actively utilized. Nonetheless, there are different experts who accept that the ranchers and anglers in the locale might be at fault for the harm done to the bogs that are still there in Iraq in view of their unregulated utilization of pesticides and electric shocks. These unlawful activities are hurting major animals that live in the swamps, polluting the water, presenting dangers to human well-being, and blocking the headway that is being made to restore one of the main wetland regions on the planet. In spite of the difficulties that Iraq has had in the past, the government continues to maintain an upbeat attitude, believing that they will soon prevail. Because of the way that this district is in many cases viewed as the support of civilization, and is likewise generally held to have been the site of both the Nursery of Eden and Babylon, it has been the subject of a lot of conversation and speculation. Regardless of whether new bits of knowledge into history and religion have been given because of the finding of the Nursery of Eden, there is still an extraordinary arrangement to study and research concerning this fascinating subject. Both historians and researchers are still unsure of the answers to a great number of issues regarding its existence and location.